am Noriko Bolful, and this is Uncut News. More good news in the international war on the Rona. This morning, AstraZeneca and Oxford University released their vaccine, which reports suggest is 70% effective against the disease. But the researchers say the figure may be as high as 90% by tweaking the dose. While it is not as effective as Pfizer and Moderna's vaccine, the Oxford vaccine is far cheaper and is easier to store as well as transport. As such, it is more likely to be used in places where extreme cold storage just isn't possible. Overall, there were 30 cases of the Rona in people who are 2 doses of the vaccine and 101 cases in people who received a placebo. But no one who received the actual vaccine developed severe symptoms of any kind. AstraZeneca says it will make 3 billion doses by next year, pending approval. Over the weekend, 3 more prisoners from Lusignan thought it was a good time to go and stretch their legs. 48-year-old murder-accused Philip Jogru of Lot B3 Good Intent Laguan, 18-year-old robbery-accused Mark Emanuel of Grove Squatting Area, and 40-year-old murder convict Donald Baird of Lot 22 Hardina Street, Watermanville, reportedly escaped on Saturday by scaling the prison fence with a rope made of bed sheets. Prison Director Gladwin Samuels blames the repeated escapes on the fact that the prison is severely understaffed. The prison service is currently training over 500 prison officers to address the shortage, not only at this prison, but at all of the nation's jails. On Friday, the police arrested former CEO of Nissel, Heath Colvin London. According to police, he was arrested in connection with several land sales that were reportedly made during his tenure in office. What? According to his lawyer, this is false, and the police are questioning him regarding decisions made before his time. Again, according to his lawyer. While details regarding the investigation are a bit sketchy, Nissel did claim that a letter that is purportedly being used as London's defense is actually fake. As such, they have asked the police to now open an investigation into the alleged forgery. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's car of the day. Currently on sale is this 2011 Toyota Sienna with 7 seats, TV, navigation stereo, crystal lights, mark rims, fog lamps, rear fold-down screen, and much, much more. Pay cash for $2.5 million or pay down as low as $500,000 with $48,000 monthly, and it's yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info, or visit the showrooms at Lot 171 Peter Rose Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamaha Street, and tell them Noriko sent you for this sweet, sweet deal. One woman was arrested this weekend after she stabbed her brother to death to save her sister-in-law from a beating. 20-year-old fisherman Alex Morgo of Parika, East Bank, Essequibo, was stabbed to death by his 31-year-old sister Lashana Morgo during a heated argument. She stabbed him after the brother began to beat his wife, Joyanne Atkinson. When Lashana attempted to intervene in the beating, he pushed her away and continued, prompting her to obtain a kitchen knife and stab him once in the chest. Morgo was taken to Leonora Cottage Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival, while Lashana is currently in police custody. Early this morning, 53-year-old businessman Terence Dickey of Lot 5 Suesdyke was murdered during a home invasion. Based on information received, 4 gunmen entered the man's premises through an open window. During the course of the robbery, one of the men shot Dickey once in the chest. He was later taken to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Police currently have 1 suspect in custody and are hopefully beating the piss out of him as we speak. Everyone's favorite political party that masquerades as a civil society group is now angry over the government's recent comments about Palm Court. The Private Sector Commission is mad at the government's Rona task force after Palm Court was warned to stop flouting the existing health restrictions, including operating after curfew hours. PC's management is denying that it is breaching the regulations, while the Private Sector Commission said it is disappointed with the task force, calling the warning extremely disappointing, discriminatory, and an unfair attempt to discredit the popular bar of ill repute. They also told the police to lay off of them and to pursue the hundreds of other businesses that are also operating in contravention of the law. You see how these businessmen are easy. You can multiply your cash by selling Digicel TopUp. This is a legit way you can earn some extra money at your business or to supplement your existing side hustle. Become a TopUp vendor quick and easy through Cellular Plus. Call them on telephone number 685-3109 for more info. 3 persons were today granted bail after they pleaded not guilty to robbing a businessman of some $3 million. 40-year-old Kwesi Fungafat, 58-year-old Afaz Khan, and 32-year-old Jason Staunton pleaded not guilty to the charge, and as such they were each granted bail in the sum of $250,000. The accused were also ordered to lodge the passports and to report to the Bricktown police station every Friday. The case has been postponed to December 23rd and transferred to the number 51 Village Magistrates Court. It's now time for today's Runner Report. Today, the nation recorded 21 new cases. The total number of deaths now stands at 146. There are now 8 persons in the ICU and 881 persons in home isolation. The total number of known cases in the country is now 5,154. So, please people, wash your hands frequently, avoid touching your nose and mouth, and mask up before you leave the house. When you do leave home, try to avoid enclosed spaces and large crowds, and remember to give 6 feet of space between you and others. It's November, people. Robbery season. If I were you, I would consider getting security for the home of business. I personally recommend Chef Security Service. I find that they are the most professional with well-trained armed or unarmed guards. Get some security this Christmas, people. Now, let's take a look at news in the region. People in Guatemala are sick and tired of their government, its rampant corruption and budget cuts. So instead of complaining about it, they actually set it on fire. On Saturday, hundreds of protesters broke into Guatemala's Congress and burned part of the building amid growing demonstrations against the president and the legislature for approving a budget that cuts education and health spending. The incident happened on Saturday as about 10,000 people were protesting in front of the National Palace in Guatemala City against corruption and the budget, which protesters say was negotiated and passed by legislators in secret, while the Central American country was too distracted by the fallout of back-to-back hurricanes and the COVID-19 pandemic. Police fired tear gas at protesters and about a dozen people were reported injured. Reports indicate that only a couple offices in the building were actually destroyed. While we're losing our minds over the oil over here, Jamaica is already moving to electric cars, and in the coming days, electric car owners will benefit from the construction of the first publicly accessible car charging station located in Drux Hill in St. Anne. The new station will be located at Boot Service Station. In the coming months, the energy company Total will construct charging stations at 4 of its locations on the island. Extend the life of your car or truck. Trap dirt, water, and other contaminants from your vehicle's engine and fuel system by using JHF Filters. Manufactured in Korea from high-quality materials, they are supplied to OEM manufacturers across the world and has stood the test of time. Make JHF Filters your only choice. JHF Filters are available nationwide and are imported and distributed by Caribbean Motor Spares. Call them on telephone number 609-7621. JHF Filters works the magic for you. And now for our weird news story of the day. This one is from Florida, so you know it's going to be crazy. Florida man Richard Wilbanks was caught on camera jumping into a pond to rescue his puppy from the jaws of a hungry alligator. Wilbanks was at home smoking a cigar when he saw an alligator had grabbed his recently adopted puppy Gunner and was dragging the dog underwater. So he sprang into action and ripped the gator's mouth open, rescuing his furry friend without even dropping a cigar in the process. Wilbanks said he released the alligator after the encounter and decided not to call the authorities because the gator, in his words, was only acting on animal instinct. Fortunately, Gunner was not seriously injured. Moving on to our Uncut News viewers poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Guyana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. So, you give your responses in the comments and we'll read the best ones in the following episode. Friday's question was, how do you feel about the striking teachers at Bishop's High? Pamsy said, strike over ex-students saying some mean things. Man, people will do anything for some days off. Kelvin said, the teachers barely worked this year and yet finding reasons to strike. This is both creative and sad. Dhanraj Mohan said, no pay for no work. Sad for the students. And finally, Jay Jairam said, the teacher strike should be with no pay. This is truly the dumbest strike ever. Are they not thinking of the current students? This sounds like some anti-man strike. Before we get to tonight's question, brighten up the holiday season and decorate your homes with new stock of vinyl, carpet, rubber tile, leatherette, glasswares, doilies, table plastic, rugs, and Roll Runner easy-to-clean carpets. Available in many colors, patterns, and designs to choose from. Beat the rush and enjoy the glorious days of shopping at Ravina's and Anand's. Ravinas and Anand have unbeatable prices. For fast and comfortable shopping, visit them at Ravinas on 17A Water Street and Anand's on 108 Regent Street, or call them on telephone number 225 6595. Now for tonight's question. If it isn't obvious by now, we have a serious issue in this country with keeping people in jail. Worse yet, when prisoners do stay in jail, they usually come out even worse than when they went in. So, I want to know, what are some programs the prison service should implement to actually benefit prisoners and society as a whole? Think about that question and tell us in the comments below. If your response is good, we just might feature it in Tuesday's episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight. Check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Noriko Ballford saying good night, folks. Hey, Uncut News viewers, thanks for watching. You can subscribe by clicking on this button over here, or click over there for more news. You can also drop a comment to let me know if you've made it to the end of the video. Goodbye for now.